On the heels of the World Environment Day, some residents of Taraba State demonstrated their desire to protect their state from deforestation and erosion in a simple way: tree planting.
A fire outbreak in Bandawa, Karim, Lamido local government area of Taraba State left in its trail hundreds of houses burned. Livestock and properties were also destroyed by the inferno that ranged the community from the midnight of the 4th of May to the early hours of the 5th of May. It was a very sad day for indigenous and residents of the community whose major occupation is farming.
Precisely about 4 to 4:30, when there was a sign of rainstorm, children were roasting their maize where they used to cook food. As they saw the windstorm, they ran away, they left the fire, not knowing that the fire started blowing off. It catches thatch houses, which affect all these houses that we have seen now. We have seen them, they are just outside living, there's nowhere to go. All their food has been destroyed. All their clothes has been destroyed. Some with their money that they are planning to farm in the rainy season, all have been destroyed. Precisely when we came, we found out that they were estimating houses, but we counted houses on our own. We got about 300 houses that were affected. There were 2 persons life lost, a male and a female.
In the aftermath, those affected took shelter under burnt trees with belongings they managed to secure.
Most of them are taking shelter under burnt houses, burnt trees, and many people are roaming about. There's no place at all to stay, because even the primary school we had wanted to use, many of them have occupied. So people are so much jam-packed in each of these, in each of the primary schools classes anyway.
The state government, through the local authorities, sent words of hope for the victims.
I'm here to witness the situation first. Then when we sit down, we have to sit on a round table. This is a teamwork, and it's a collective bargaining. So one cannot even answer, say, this is tomorrow or today. But actually, government will do something very, very important in order to address the situation. And I also want to make it clear to the people of Bandawa that the government is solely behind what, in order to give them all the necessary assistance that will enable them to rescue from all this. Because this government is a rescue mission government. So he may not even see such a thing that he may not even give an assistance. So I want to call the attention that all of them here, both those who are here and outside, want the attention of all the Bandawa people who are here. They should agree that the government is fully ready to give all the necessary assistance that will rebuild the situation.
Although many believe that the Bandawa fire was escalated by a windstorm, it's not a new experience for the older ones.
1973.
This similar incident happened in 1973, but back then we only lost 10 houses and no life was lost. This time around it is devastating and heartbreaking, especially seeing children, women and able-bodied men displaced.
If there were enough tree coverings, Bandawa would not have suffered so much damage against a wind-driven fire. To mark the World Environment Day, a concerned group activates a road walk to draw attention of residents to the negative implications of such and other acts that are negatively affecting the ecosystem and the climate. The message here is that the environment is everyone's responsibility to protect.
We, the students, and we, the younger generation, are here
to see the problems ongoing in the state, like erosion, deforestation, and improper waste disposal. So we are calling on the government to help us to control this danger ahead so that it will not be a disaster in the future for we, the younger generations.
The group also initiates an action plan of planting trees, a practical call to protect the environment. The Speaker of the Taraba State House of Assembly, Joseph ALBASU, and the Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, IBRAHIM LAWAL, are among notable personalities that participated in the exercise. They speak on efforts by executive and legislative arms of government to tackle environmental challenges.
Taraba, we have contributed our counterpart funding of 1 billion naira by His Excellency to take care of waterways management and erosional problem within the state in general, and the rehabilitation of our degraded forestry reserve by planting more trees. And that is what that money is meant for.
Everybody knows that there's depletion on the natural faunas and forests, and cutting of the wood is not an exception. Yes, I agree with you that foreigners were discovered to be encroaching on our natural environment by what? By falling down the rosewood. So we have taken measures as a state, and one of the sanctions we've placed is whoever is coming to cut rosewood in this state must pay royalties to the state. And I think that is the universally accepted measures. Aside the fact that whoever cuts 1 tree is supposed to plant 2 by the United Nations recommendation. But we as a state will say if you fail 1 tree, you plant 10. So that's a measure. The House of Assembly, as a House of Parliament, have done a lot. We have domesticated a lot of United Nations laws on the natural environment. So I can tell you that, yes, there is a law on ground.
The Taraba State Government says it plans to plant over 5 million trees for forestry, land reclamation, landscaping and economic purposes across the state. Bandawa, like other communities where activities of deforestation are noticed, will be looking forward to this intervention to protect their environment.